It is a gold rush right now in nuclear all across the sector.
Hi, I'm Montana Ware. I am an attorney in Oryx Technology Companies Group, and today I'm joined by Kurt Terrani, CEO of Standard Nuclear. Kurt, what's going on right now in nuclear in the industry generally, and what opportunities does that present for startups and for venture capital?
It's an incredible time to be in the nuclear business. Energy demand is going up. There's need for carbon-free and truly reliable energy, a little different than what the renewables are able to deliver. So nuclear is looking like it's going to be a significant part of that mix in the future. Nuclear is being considered to be deployed in much smaller chunks as nuclear batteries for data centers, remote communities, lots of applications, including defense and space. So it's a very, very exciting time.
What aspects of the nuclear supply chain are ripe for disruption right now?
It really is all of it. Yeah, we've had a supply chain that's really designed and specific for the 400 or so light water reactors. Very few people want to continue building those plants. A lot of private sector investments, a lot of government support is going to deploying so-called advanced nuclear systems that are high efficient, significantly safer. They're using completely different technologies and materials. So that supply chain sometimes doesn't even exist. So we need to add new supply chain. We need to modify the existing supply chain. We're in the nuclear fuel business, and we are delivering a fuel that simply wasn't commercially available before. It was being made in laboratory scale, small quantities, and now we have to build that supply chain from scratch.
What pinch points are you seeing in terms of talent in the nuclear industry? And in other words, what skill sets do you think we need more of?
Yeah, that's a really good question. People think you need PhDs to go ahead and kind of build the next generation of nuclear. You need all the above. You need a few of those guys, but you really need a lot of engineers. But you also need a lot of non-engineers. You need pipe fitters, instrumentation and control technicians. There's a lot of nuclear that's not nuclear. In a nuclear fuel plant, we use primarily chemical engineers and chemical technicians and materials folks, welders, pipe fitters, millwrights. There's need all across the sector.
What can commercial or even residential consumers expect to see in the next decade or so in terms of dramatic shifts in energy? How can energy is consumed and the availability of nuclear in the U.S. and beyond?
Yeah, so it's extremely well understood and accepted that there's a strong correlation between the amount of energy available and quality of life and livelihood for folks. Energy demand continues to go up. I mean, everybody knows how the data centers are going to be consuming energy, and that demand is going to continue to grow. Electric vehicles, all those gasoline cars are being replaced with EVs. Additional demand going up, and again, the industry, defense, many parts of our lives are becoming more electricity dependent. I'm a believer of all the above. I think saying only nuclear or only this thing is a wrong answer. You always want to have a mix. You become more resilient, but you also have a better outcome overall. But nuclear is going to be deployed in different ways. There's going to be a lot of behind the meter, so not owned and operated by utilities. It's going to be the hyperscalers that are going to want to buy these plants, operate these plants, and directly supply the electricity to their data center. We're going to see a lot of places where there's need for industrial heat, for chemical processing, manufacturing activities, forward operating bases, defense installments that are not going to spend a lot of money and risk the lives of our folks in the military to transport diesel trucks. They're going to have reliable long-term energy deployed in those types of locations.
We all see exciting developments in the very near future in fission, but what can we expect to see in our lifetime? At least do you think we can expect to see in our lifetimes in terms of developments in the fusion industry?
Fusion is truly challenging. In the nuclear world, there's the jargon of, fusion time constant is that fusion energy is always 50 years away. So 50 years ago, it was 50 years away, and now it's going to be 50 years away. But I think that's changing greatly. I can see some significant milestones. So now it's transitioning from very low technology readiness level from a concept and idea to now being deployed, and it's more of an engineering task. If we can have fusion energy, we should absolutely pursue it, and it can be a game changer for the future.
Are there any startup ideas that you think aren't being tackled and addressed in this industry that you would recommend somebody smart go and start a company and start addressing?
Plenty. Nuclear industry hasn't really built plants in this country, except the couple in Vogel since the 70s. We haven't really built them. We all kind of high five and are really proud of ourselves when we refurbish a 1960s, 1970s plant. And again, those plants are a lot of technologies that have their roots in 1940s and 50s. So is there room for innovation? Incredible. Why is nuclear the only industry that doesn't benefit from all the other advancements that we see in computing, semiconductor, other manufacturing technologies? So there's a lot of opportunity there. And I think, I encourage people to look. It's going to be very easy to find a lot of good nuggets.
Thanks for joining, Kurt.
Good deal. Yeah, my pleasure.